The drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders' return to Boulder has opened a new chapter in a story that's become part spectacle, part cautionary tale in the brutal world of the NFL and college football. As the Colorado Buffaloes get ready to face the Arizona Wildcats, Shedeur has quietly slipped back into the place where his legend began, his father Deion Sanders' campus, the stadium where his rise was forged. That return alone is a headline. What it signals, though, is much bigger. Many believed he would stay in Cleveland, work through a rookie season behind center for the Cleveland Browns and learn his trade. Instead, here he is in Boulder, a homecoming that looks less like a nostalgic detour and more like a statement. The visit itself might seem benign, a son checking in with his father, a nod to heritage, a moment of togetherness. But in the high-stakes world of pro football, gestures of this magnitude carry weight. For Shedeur to show up during the Browns' bye week at a time when questions are mounting about his role, his readiness, his injury status, it feels less like a casual trip and more like a message. I still belong here, I'm not forgotten, I'm still relevant. That sends shockwaves because it casts a spotlight on Cleveland's quarterback carousel, the uncertainty at the position, and the broader dysfunction surrounding it. Consider the pieces. Shedeur was once the talk of college football. At Colorado, he posted 4,134 passing yards and 37 touchdowns in his final season, completed 74% of his passes, and led the Big 12 in multiple categories. He fired up the stadium, lit up the scoreboard, and rewrote record books. Then came the 2025 NFL Draft, and the slide, he fell all the way to the 5th round at pick 144 to the Browns. For a guy who looked like a first-round lock, the drop stunned onlookers and triggered questions. Was the system he played in too simplistic? Was it the interview process? Were teams worried about his transition? The result, the promise he carried, the momentum from college, entered a room where uncertainty reigned. Now the Browns are in disarray. The offense is sputtering, leadership murky, drive stalling, and the quarterback position unsettled. That makes the timing of Shedeur's visit to Boulder even more pointed. It's not just a trip, it's a moment. The optics tell a vivid story. The team that took him needs answers. The player who left Colorado still holds power in his own perception. When a guy returns to his roots amid a rocky pro start, it suggests two possibilities. Either he's stepping back to recharge, or he's quietly stepping away from a situation he never bought into. What does this move mean for Cleveland? It means the tension has escalated. Shedeur being back in Boulder means someone in Browns land is losing sleep. The franchise that grabbed him has not yet unleashed him. The starter in front of him is underperforming. And in that mix lies the simplest truth. When your young quarterback is abroad during your off week, while your season hangs by threads, the questions no one wants to ask become the ones you're forced to answer. Shedeur's footwear in Boulder, his appearance at his father's game, his posture on the sideline, they all become data points in a bigger narrative. He may not be the starter next week against the Jets, but his presence in Boulder suggests he's already won something far more subtle: attention, momentum, leverage. And for his own career, this could be the smartest decision he's made. He's returned to the comfort of what he knows, under his father's guidance in a program he helped build, away from the chaos of a franchise stumbling through placeholder quarterbacks and rehashed conservative game plans. If he believes the Browns' offense is a sinking ship, returning to Boulder is a reset. It buys him time, space, and narrative control. He goes back where he had respect, where he delivered, where the expectations were crystal clear, and he rose. From that vantage, everything in Cleveland becomes secondary. Still, the shoe is just about to drop. If Shedeur lights up in Boulder, the contrast with Cleveland becomes even sharper. If the Browns keep losing while their rookie sits on the sidelines and returns to his alma mater mid-season, the storytelling becomes damning. They benched the guy who could have changed it. That's the headline. Coaches don't like to be remembered for missed opportunities. And that's where Kevin Stefanski enters the frame. The coach who let this possibility breathe could find himself looking back on the moment when he opted for caution instead of talent. What's going to happen next? Does Stefanski bring Shedeur in? Do the Browns acknowledge the circuit of mistakes? Does the narrative shift from "she's not ready" to "we gave him the shot too late"? And for Shedeur, does he go quietly and grind behind the scenes, or does he emerge as a choice nobody saw coming? His move to Boulder wasn't just a return, it's a pivot, it's recalibration. And for fans watching, it's the kind of moment that signals change is not on hold, it's underway. If you followed this story up to now, you know the pieces. You've seen the hype, the fall, the aspiration. Now you're watching the next act, the resurgence, the reckoning, the possibility of vindication. So hit the like button if you believe this story is far from over, subscribe if you want to see how it all unfolds, and in the comments tell us, do you think Kevin Stefanski will ever publicly admit this was a mistake? And do you see Shedeur Sanders walking into a starting role sooner rather than later?